So a movie sequel gets announced, right? But this time, it didn't just create hype, it started a war. And I'm not talking about with soldiers, but with memes. Today, we're going to dive in to how just one line from the movie Border 2 kicked off this huge cross-border online battle. And we'll look at a pretty wild theory. What if all that outrage was exactly what the marketers wanted all along? Yup, this is it. This is the line that lit the fuse. Our voice should reach Lahore. Now, it's a line that's delivered with all this chest-thumping seriousness, and it's totally meant to fire up patriotism. But online? Oh, it did something completely different. It sparked an immediate and frankly hilarious firestorm on both sides of the border. Okay, so to really get why the reaction was so massive, you have to rewind and look at the original. The 1997 film Border wasn't just another movie, it was a huge cultural event, an all-time classic. Now, the sequel is rolling in with a gigantic budget. We're talking more than 20 times the original. And the predictions are already in the hundreds of crores. By the way, 1 crore is 10 million rupees. But just look at the legacy here. The original is a national classic, and the sequel, it's already defined by viral controversy. And it's not even out yet. All right, let's get to the heart of it all, the memes. And you have to understand, this was not a one-sided thing. Creators from both India and Pakistan grabbed that one super dramatic line and just turned it into this international comedy roast. So you might be wondering, what were people actually joking about? I mean, when a single line can inspire this much comedy, what's really going on underneath all the jokes? So here's that line again. It was meant to be this powerful, patriotic call to action, just dripping with national pride. But the internet, well, the internet interpreted it a little differently. And boom, this one response just captures the whole mood perfectly. The memes completely took apart the movie's serious tone with simple, modern logic. It's like, why are you shouting when you could just call? It is a brilliant takedown of over-the-top drama using just plain old common sense. And oh man, the roast was just getting warmed up. People were making jokes about the star, Sunny Deol, being 74. There was a viral post claiming his aim was so bad his shells were landing in Sri Lanka. Other actors got mocked for their expressions, the dialogue was called ancient, and fans of the original were all asking, hey, where are the tanks? And of course, the internet immediately jumped on the casting of two-star kids as just classic nepotism. Now, you look at all of this and you'd think, wow, what a PR nightmare, right? But this is where the story takes a really interesting turn, and it raises a pretty fascinating question. What if this massive backlash wasn't a mistake? What if it was a feature? What if the outrage was the plan all along? This leads us to this whole concept called controversy marketing. And the idea is pretty simple. You deliberately say or do something provocative that you know is going to get people talking. Why would you do that? Because even negative reactions create buzz, and all that arguing and debating, well, that's basically free advertising. And the source material we're looking at lays out this alleged strategy in 4 pretty cynical steps. First, you provoke. Write a line you know will set people off. Second, you unleash it. Put out the trailer and just wait for what the source calls the innocent birds, the meme makers, to take the bait. Third, amplify. You just sit back and watch as they create a viral storm of free promotion for you. And finally, profit. Turn all that manufactured buzz into real box office gold. But the theory gets even crazier. According to the source, the film's own PR team was supposedly caught asking influencers to post negative content about one of their own actors, specifically making fun of his expressions, just to get even more buzz. I mean, think about that for a second. If that's true, they were literally paying people to mock their own movie. That's not just playing with fire, that's pouring gasoline on it. But this isn't just about one movie's marketing strategy. The source argues that this is actually part of a much larger, more cynical formula that Bollywood has been using for years, especially when it comes to its patriotic blockbusters. So, the source makes a really powerful point with this timeline. India celebrates its independence from the British on August 15th and its Republic Day on January 26th. And yet, the huge blockbuster movies that come out on these national holidays are almost never about the struggle against the British. Instead, they almost always focus on conflict with Pakistan. So why is that? And the source offers a very cynical, very commercial answer to that question. The argument is that filmmakers don't pick their bad guys based on history, they pick them based on profit. A movie against Pakistan is seen as a guaranteed hit, while a movie about the British, well, it just won't sell as many tickets. It's not about patriotism, it's about what sells. Okay, so this brings us to our final and maybe most mind bending section. After all the memes, all the criticism, and this whole analysis of the formula, we have to look at the most important piece of the puzzle: the audience, us.
Because here's the thing. Despite all the jokes and all the criticism, the pre-release hype and the projections for this film are absolutely staggering. We're talking about a predicted opening of over 300 crore. That's roughly 36 million US dollars. The very same movie that's getting relentlessly mocked is on track to be a massive commercial success. So, how does that happen?
The source calls this the matrix, an illusion that maybe we're all a part of. Online, we see the formula. We criticize it, we make jokes about it, but in the real world, we still buy the ticket. Our words online don't match our actions in the real world. And that's how we end up feeding the very same system we claim to be against.
And that just leaves us with this one final, really provocative question. It's a paradox at the very heart of modern media. If we can see the strings, if we know how the machine works, and if we're smart enough to mock it, why do we keep lining up to watch the show? It's definitely something we're thinking about,